All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Giving double honors unto the apostles and elders, great millstone. Shalom to the brothers that are laboring in this truth. All right, to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, being occupied in prophecies. And a hearty and sincere shalom to the Lord's hopeful elect that are scattered abroad. And as you can tell by the title, what the show is going to be about, what the lesson is going to be about, the end is manifest. And right now what I have pulled up is some scenes out in Melbourne, Australia. I'm going to play a little bit of this. We're going to get into an article. And of course, we're going to qualify everything to the precepts. And hopefully you'll be edified. Now, all this is going on because of the protests that are taking place against the, forced jabs, okay? And what you're looking at here is a prelude or a mirror of what will happen here in Mystery Babylon the Great, okay? And you have set in a very short time individuals to experience loss of job because of the different mandates that go into effect, and they're going to have to make an ultimate decision. So as you can see, the protests, all the police, just to give you a little visual. All right, and some of these get pretty violent. All right. And there's an exchange of force, okay? So we're gonna stop that and we're gonna go into this article, all right? I wanted you to get a good visual for what's going on in Melbourne, Australia. And this is the spirit, because I was gonna do this lesson about 2 days ago, but the spirit had me do something else. And then Apostle Tahar just uploaded a video about what's going on in Canada right now with the troops being called, and this kind of ties into the article a little bit. As a matter of fact, one of the first precepts we can pull, all right, since the Lord blessed us with the mercy of the Spirit, we can see what's going on, and because of that, we're able to gauge what times we're living in, as well as, how to navigate these times, right? So this is Proverbs 22 and verse 3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, right? The bad times that are coming, we see it. The end was manifested in the beginning through the power of the word. And the Lord gave us that gracious gift of faith that we would be able to receive the word, understand the prophecies, and realize what the Lord is getting ready to do, right? We're getting ready to enter in. Well, I shouldn't say that no more. I got to get into the habit of saying that we are in those evil times and that we are going to see them intensify, right? So right here, you have a video entitled, What Happens If People Don't Comply with the Mandates, right? This is September 29th. Now they're set to go into effect very shortly. And a lot of people have already stepped down, okay? As a matter of fact, if you see in the right corner, we have here, officers set to resign in droves after mandate. That's updated 3 days ago, or uploaded rather, 3 days ago, okay? And you have that going on in the health sector. You have that going in law enforcement and other various places within society, okay? So, the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. I just did a video yesterday, all right, on comfort and hope and how to cultivate the right mindset to build confidence. And that's engaging in this word and looking at the things that the Lord has done previously for Israel, okay? Especially faithful Israelites, how he delivered them. He gave them sustenance. He gave them substance. And he delivered them ultimately. So our refuge Okay, the way we hide ourselves is within this word. Okay, by doing what the Lord requires of us, and that's how we're gonna ultimately survive, through the word. Okay, we take the covering of the scriptures to protect us from all that's gonna, happen. All right, we're gonna take refuge in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We're gonna continue to keep the commandments. Right, we're not gonna participate in getting jabs or MOTB'd. All right, or anything that has to do with this man's system continuing. It says, but the simple pass on and are punished, right? Because the simple, being the Israelites, are not giving any regard to what's going on. They're just accepting what's happening and taking this jab, taking this experiment, not realizing that it's totally to their detriment, all right? And we'll get into the reasons why. I don't want to make my speech too long. So let's go right into this article here. This was posted September 27th. Right, here's the date of the article, 2021. As a disclaimer, this was posted as a so-called opinion piece, but this opinion piece is actually rooted in fact. And the reason why Esau does that is because when viewers come across articles like this, it's to allow them to pretty much blow it off and say, oh, that's someone's opinion, rather than to embrace it for the truth that it is, but that's their problem, not ours. We're just going to extract the meat from the bone and keep it moving. So it says to watch what is happening in Australia right now is to watch what was once a liberally democratic nation devolve into outright tyranny, right? So that's exactly what this is, all right? All of this that's going on, this is tyranny, all right? Forcing people to do something against their will is tyranny. And in case you don't know what tyranny means, I have it right up here. All right, absolute power. Now, what is it said of this Edomite? What is it said of this devil? Is he not trying to be like the Most High? The Most High is omnipotent, meaning having all the power. Now, the only way Esau can have absolute power, all the power, is by trying to persuade you with force and threat of violence and loss of more of your life to get you to comply. All right, and we can read about that in 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 4, because everything you see going on right now is a result of the secret counsel of the wicked. And I have that pulled up, but I want to read this real quick. It says 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High. And the main primary example is how he set himself up to bear the likeness, or set his likeness rather up as the Lord. That's how he opposeth and exalteth himself above the Most High, all right, or all that is to be worshipped, that is of the Heavenly Father. He set himself up to be the Most High. He set himself up to be the Son, okay, through those deceitful images of Caesar Borgia, which goes really back to Serapis Christus, okay, posing as the angels, posing as the Israelites, right, stealing our heritage and claiming something that he is not. But now what's another example of opposing and exalting himself above all that is the Most High? Did not the Lord say to make good use of the herbs, that if we need healing to pray? It's in this man's policies that if you speak on those things, you are violating his policy, that you're spreading medical misinformation. That's in total violation of the scriptures. The Lord said to not make any prints or marks upon you, get no cuttings in your flesh. So you're not supposed to participate in mutilating your body in any way. All right, it's not just tattoos, it's in any form. You're not supposed to be willingly doing that. So that's opposing and exalting himself above that is called the Most High, because we're supposed to look to the Most High for healing. We're supposed to look to the Most High for deliverance, for salvation, okay, to be instructed in well-doing. But what are the people doing? The people are going to the Edomites, right? And then they're suffering because of it, especially amongst Jake. And that's really the crux of this lesson. The whole point of this lesson is Jake is going to pay, man. Jake is going to pay. They don't realize what time that we're in. All right. As we read here in Proverbs, the simple pass on and are punished. So they're not regarding the times. They're really the children of the dark, man. All right. And because of the comforts and the lusts in which they have, been beholden to, they're not considering or have any concern for the times that we're living in. As a matter of fact, I want to get something else real quick. Tried doing this lesson like two times, man. This will be the third time. And I was doing it as a screen record, and the first time the audio didn't pick up. The second time, as I was ending the video, my phone died and it didn't save any of it. So I'm here just doing this live real quick. This is the book of Psalm 78. So as the scriptures say, the Lord's people will be willing in the day of thy power. But that's taking a great risk. If you hear this message now, this is the opportunity while the gates of mercy are still available and open to you to receive this word and build yourself up and not let it go, as the scriptures say, so that you have stability, so you have a defense against what is happening. So I brought this out the other day, and we were focusing on how the Lord blessed Israel, even though they were testing the Most High. The Lord still came through and provided for them as we were exiting Egypt. Okay, and we're getting ready to exit this Egypt. We're getting ready to be delivered out of spiritual Sodom and Egypt, okay, from the land of the north. Nevertheless, let's look at what the Lord said about his people. It says Psalm 78, and let's see where I would like to start here. Just bear with me a second. I just want to hit the main points if I can. I'll provoke them. Yeah, man, that's the thing. Like, even though the Most High was performing all these wonderful works, like the Lord is now, the Lord is performing all these wonderful works. We see the chariots in the skies. Brothers are seeing the different number signs. Okay. Brothers are praying for each other, being healed through prayer. All right, our faith is growing. So the Lord is doing all these wonderful things, and yet you still got Jakes denying the faith, denying their heritage. So the Lord's going to have to deal with them and cut them down. Okay, so here we go. This is what I want. So this is Psalm 78 and 30. And this is the state of Jake now as it was then. Remember, there's no new thing under the sun. It says, they were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouths. Yeah, man. So here's the thing. Israel's not separating themselves from their lust. That's why they're just continuing on here in America and acting as if everything is going to eventually come back to some sort of normalcy that they were once accustomed to. And that's just not going to happen. That's what we're going to read in this article, okay? It's not going back to normal. This is a prelude and a hinge and a springboard to ultimately push for that new world order and get everybody MOTB'd. And the writing's on the wall. Brothers see it. But while there's still yet opportunity, we got to continue to push the message, continue to push the prophecies. We're getting ready to enter those times. Well, I got to stop saying that because we're in those times. It's just that things are going to intensify very quickly. But it says that they were not estranged from the Lord. So even though the Lord was doing all these things, they still were, tempting the Lord, doubting Moses, complaining, considering Egypt being better. How the hell? That's crazy. And Jake is the same way now. They'd rather go back into oppression than to serve the Lord, wait, okay, and then receive the reward. They want it now. Jake is too damn impulsive. Jake really lacks in faith. They're that impudent, hard-hearted nation that the Lord talks about, all right? So for the majority of our people, they're not estranged from their lust, meaning all the desires in their heart, they're able to still do here in America. So it's like, what's the use? Why should I give any of that up? Why should I make myself any more comfortable? They're in the mindset of trying to establish the kingdom, and make themselves equal to the Edomite, which is that you can't. First of all, to make yourself equal to an Edomite is to put yourself on the level of a heathen. We're not heathens. We're Israelites. We're the firstborn of the Most High. Okay? We are the Lord's people, and he is our power. And Jake don't want to tap into that power. They want to go to the Edomite for power, for resources, for substance. And it's going to be to their detriment. So it says, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, right? And, that's physical, but really spiritual. Because they're being filled, right? Woe unto you that are full now, right? Woe unto you that are full now, for ye shall hunger, right? Woe unto you, laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. So they're full, and they're laughing, they're having a good time, like as in the days of Noah, all right? They were, giving in to drunkenness, they're giving in to marriage, right? So they're totally complacent within this society that is steadily on a rapid decline, circling the drain. All right, but they're yet content because of their lust. Remember, the thoughts of the of Israel is wicked, you know? So it says, the wrath of the Most High came upon them and slew the fattest of them and smote down the chosen men of Israel. Because they weren't right. Ultimately, they weren't right. You know, had they been choosing the ways of the Most High, staying faithful and being patient, that wouldn't have happened. But they kept tempting the Lord, testing the Lord, eventually built a golden calf when Moses went to receive the commandments. So the Lord had to deal with them. But it says, for all this, they still sinned and believed not for his wondrous works. You see that, man? So that is the simpleness of our people. They could be presented with the mighty works of the Heavenly Father and yet still be in a state of unfaithfulness, have no integrity, turn their back. So as it was then, it will be in this time also. It says, therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. What are we experiencing? Okay, the beginnings of Jacob's trouble. All right, and only the Lord's elect is going to be delivered out of it. But wait till this devil really shows his horns. Okay, like he's doing here in Australia. Where's the video at? Yeah. So we're going to read what's actually going on, because these videos don't always show everything, but there's been reports of people being imprisoned for these protests, beaten, okay, and also fined, because we are living in a state of tyranny that has taken the globe with these forced jabs, these forced experimental poisons being pushed on the people, and then you having to use that new standard of showing or verifying that you have through a digital health pass, all right, or you won't have no social life, is total tyranny, because you don't have a choice. It's either you do these things or you're being turned into a second grade citizen. All right, so we read that already. Let's come right back here to Psalm 78. It says, therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. When he slew them, and here's the thing, this is Jake right here. Then they sought him. So when is Jake ultimately going to get it through their thick head? When they start getting put to death. And for many of them, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. It says, and then they returned and inquired early after the Most High. So Israel only responds when they really start to experience those judgments. And for a lot of our people, it's going to be beyond of a point of no return. That's why you don't want to play that game, man. You don't want to provoke the Most High and wait while you're being, judged, ultimately, to then seek the Most High. That's why the Lord said, he shall laugh when now fear cometh. As a matter of fact, let's get that. I didn't intend on getting that, but I'm going to get that. Okay. This is Proverbs 1 and 23. Turn you at my reproof. All right. This lesson and lessons like it from the apostles and elders on down is the Lord giving you correction. Look, depart ye, for this is not your rest. Meaning, don't be settled. Things are going to significantly change. We're in a transition of power. The end of Esau's world is the beginning of Jacob that followeth. So you see this different tyranny. You see these draconian or harsh measures going out. Those are the signs that the Lord said, look, the age of this world is ending. Okay? The time for all the bullshit and doing as you will and, doing all that wickedness, it's done. It's at its end. Now you have to repent, and if you don't, then you're going to have to suffer the consequences. And that's what most of Jake in America is going to experience, and around the world, of course. But, when we talk about the 2/3, we're really talking about 2/3 here in America. There's going to be a great slaughter amongst Israel for not returning and repenting. Okay? And even as Yahushua said, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And ultimately, that's the message. But everything that you see going on, the best thing you could do is turn from your sin, connect back to your power, embrace your heritage as being an Israelite, so you can be accepted in the sight of the Lord to be delivered from the evil. I will pour out my spirit onto you, and I will make known my words unto you. And that's what the Lord is pouring out his spirit daily. Videos are going up. Look, it's past midnight and I'm doing a lesson. Now, I didn't intend to do a lesson this late, but the spirit is on me. Okay. And I tried to upload twice. It didn't work. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go live. I'm just going to go live and put the lesson out there. Okay. And the spirit is heavy on brothers, man, because we are, we're at the end now. All right. It's coming down to the wire. Like Apostle Tahar did in his last video, everything is going to start moving fast. You see what's happening in Canada with the troops, regulating the streets. I have to, go more into it. But yeah, man. So we look at Canada. We look at examples like in Australia, right? And there's other things going on around the world. And from there, we can gauge where we are in prophecy. And that's what this is. This is a measuring of the times. Measure thou the times diligently, right? That's what the scriptures say. What's our unit of measure? Okay? The scriptures. All right, so that's how we're gauging everything, man. So yeah, so when it comes down to it, you got to get this truth now to optimize your position for salvation. If not, then the Lord is going to judge you. So that's all that I want out of Psalm 78. Let's get into this, or back into this rather. It says, in New South Wales and Victoria are being locked in their homes, all right, or citizens rather, in New South Wales and Victoria are being locked inside their homes and monitored by police. Yeah, man, total tyranny. Now, this is similar to what you see going on in Canada, where the troops are being deployed, right? And because of situations like this, where was that video at? What did it say about the officers stepping down? Well, you know what I see. I pointed it out already. Looks like it dropped down. I don't know where it went. But anyway, point is, with the different police force stepping down, with certain individuals within the military branches, they're putting in their resignation or under threat of a dishonorable discharge. Who's going to be occupying these streets? Who's going to be maintaining what Esau calls law and order? They're going to have to bring in them troops, man. This is Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. Look at the way they came in. This is the flood right here, man. And they coming to spray you down, lock you up, beat you to death, shoot you if it's necessary, imprison you, fine you. Remember, Esau is the sword of the Lord, and he's gonna bring terrible judgment upon you. Okay, that's what time we're in. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 2. Excuse me, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, rather, verse 70. It says, behold, I'm going to start at 67. Behold, the Most High himself is the judge. Fear him. Yeah, you got to fear the Most High. He's the one bringing all of this. Most High is the one controlling both sides, good and bad, left and right. Okay? Leave off from your sins. So like I said earlier, this is the objective. Leave off from your sins. Repent to the Most High and forget your iniquities. Yes, stop adding sin onto sin. Get yourself together, Jake. Because in a short while, the Most High is going to close the doors of mercy, and he's going to bring terrible judgment on you. To meddle no more with them forever, so shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all your trouble. Right, providing you leave off from your sins. You fear the Lord. You keep the commandments. You maintain yourself in the integrity of this walk. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. Again, what examples do we have currently going on? All right. And see, these people don't realize it yet, but there's going to come a time where they're just going to act. They're not just going to stand by and let you chant your opinions, all right, irregardless to whether or not you're right or wrong. They're just going to take you down. All right? For there shall be... Excuse me, I keep jumping. I'm just excited. You know what I mean? We are in exciting times. The Lord said, that we should fear him, all right, with all joy and trembling. So, yeah, man, we're like, shoot, man, hope we're the elect. We want to get through this, call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushai, deliver me, those that I care about. But then we're also ecstatic. We're joyed, man. We're overjoyed because this means the kingdom is establishing, man, and coming. The Lord getting ready to come back. So yeah, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle. Those are those camps, okay? And they already have in place those holding what they call health centers, okay, for those who refuse. And they were doing that. You've seen examples of that, okay, earlier on within the year and last year, where people were going into different countries and they were automatically being stopped by force, okay, whether military or police, and being held in hotels that were specifically designed to quarantine you until you received a negative result or otherwise after being tested coming into the country. All right. So this is a representation of those camps with things offered onto idols, right? Anytime, really all this food that we eat is all been defiled. Esau, be putting a vibration on these animals and sacrificing them on the left. None of this stuff is really good for us, man. It's all been perverted on the left-hand side. They really do be sacrificing on to, different demons and entities, and then turn around and then that same animal that they use in a sacrifice is turned around and sold to you in the damn market, man. All right. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So there it tells you, man, a lot of our people are going to be trodden underfoot. A lot of them, our people are going to, get caught up in these camps, get caught up in these holding cells and be broken and then be destroyed because of it, because of their lack of faith. All right. And they weren't building themselves up in the faith to have a defense against it, right? Because we have a totally different mindset. We're going to wait on the Lord irregardless. All right. And we're going to receive a reward for that. And I did that. I went into that in the last video I did. All right. Our works are going to follow us. So even if we are put to death for our integrity, we're still going to be resurrected and brought up in them chariots and receive a crown. Right. So that's the reward for your integrity. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Again, we have this as an example. Okay. You see all the different police. All right. And eventually it's going to be the Gurkha troops. It's going to be those UN troops. All right. That are going to take you out, man. Right. It says they shall be like madmen sparing none. Right. So it's coming. Like I said, they're not going to stand on the sidelines. They're going to have their orders. OK. And they're going to take you out. And Esau can hire mercenaries. All right. There's, this is, and also, just kind of adding on to this. We might end up seeing a Red Dawn event, all right? Because America is known as the unwalled villages. So for brothers that have been paying attention to different things going on, America is not in good standing with the rest of the world, okay? And we could see different levels of invasion, all right? That would contribute to the breakdown of society and civil disorder, man, and just totally see this place crumble even more. So, it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right. They're going to ultimately be targeting the Israelites. It says they shall be like madmen sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So everything that Jake thought he had in this kingdom is going to be taken away, including his life, especially if he doesn't have that hedge, if he doesn't have the faith. For they shall waste and take away their goods, all that substance. Okay. Doesn't matter what you have. It's going to be given to somebody else. Okay. And cast them out of their houses, right? They're going to just strip you out of there. They're going to pull you out of there. And there was an example where a couple, when they were doing the 2-week quarantine, if you were going out of state and traveling, you were required to do a self-isolation for 2 weeks. There was this, what appeared to be Edomite couple who they went to go get tested. And they were asked to sign these documents, and they didn't feel comfortable signing the documents. They said, listen, we will, on our own mission, self-quarantine. And it wasn't good enough. So you had these health officials come to their door and put them on house arrest. So this Esau's showing you everything, all right, is going to intensify. There is no going back to normality. That's what this article is going to get into. And everything you see happening in these other places is a reflection or a mirroring of what's to happen here. It is already happening. I mean, with the supply chain disruptions, people are panic buying in different countries. People had been panic buying here. Prices are going up because of inflation. All right. And there's a scarcity of certain goods. So there's a lot going on, man. Things are getting ready to get way more intense. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, because the chosen are going to be preserved through all of this. It says that at famine and destruction thou shalt laugh, because we're going to be in an advantage. We're going to be trusting in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. And even though, look, it says that and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. So, yeah, we're going to be faced with adversity. We're going to be faced with, that straight gate in a position of difficulty, but we're going to remain faithful all the same. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. There it is. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. So we got to get rid of that doubt mindset. Listen, we're still in this flesh, so yeah, we're going to experience emotions of the flesh. But if you've been building yourself in the faith, then even in those situations, you're going to navigate with accurate precision of the Spirit to do what you need to. And the Lord's going to guide us. And he's going to take care of us, man. That's it. But we're still going to be in this flesh. We're going to be in situations where our life is going to be threatened. Certain thoughts are going to pass through our mind like, oh, shit, man, I hope I get out of this, But we're also going to be praying to the Lord, right? And we're just going to continue down that path, okay, to where the Lord is going to deliver us. So let's get a little bit more into this. All right. And it says, so they're being monitored by police, and anyone who dares protest the state's strict CV lockdown measures faces imprisonment, hefty fines, even brutal physical attacks by law enforcement, all in response to a relatively minor outbreak of new cases among a population that is largely jabbed. Now, see, that's another thing. See, people had this illusion that, okay, all we do is comply, everything goes back to normal. In America, I think it is, do I still have this number up here? This is for minorities, because remember, their whole target is Jake. We're going to get into that. I had up the number of Americans that received the experimental poison. And it's 100, I think it's 150. I believe I read it was like 158 million. And now the statistic don't want to come up, but it came up right here on the side. Let's see what this says. This one says over 55% total jab. So here's the thing. According to their numbers, they have a large majority of the population, that's the point, jabbed up. And things still haven't returned to any sort of normalcy pre-pandemic. And what does this say? This is going to be the new normal for Eastern Australia if health officials such as New South Wales Dr. Kerry Chant get their way. And all these different health officials already been bought and paid for. All right, they're under, they've been bought and paid for. I'll just leave it there. It says Chant, who is their state's chief health officer, recently admitted that pre-pandemic normalcy won't ever be possible again because CV-19 will always be around in some shape or form. That's why they not only want you to get one, but two, and then, of course, annual boosters, man. This thing ain't ever going away. See, now they're just basically telling you there's no normal no more. Why? Because this really leads into Psalm 64. This is what it's been about from the get-go. But this is what they're using as a springboard to bring in that New World Order agenda. So let's read. And for any naysayers that are like, oh, that's just a theory, that's a conspiracy. Well, yeah, it is a conspiracy. But you're wrong when you say it's a theory, and it's even in the scriptures. In Psalm 64:1, it says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Yeah, that's what we ask in the Most High. Shemai Palathium. All right, Shemai Palathia, hear my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy, because we're going to need protection. So we need to pray for it. All right. We need to adamantly pray more, intensely pray for that deliverance. We're going to need it. We're going to need the protection of our prayers. Okay. Also our faith. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Our refuge is in the name and of the scriptures. That's our refuge. That's how we're going to be hid. The secret counsel, okay, starting with the top elite banking families that really operate these financial institutions, all right, whether they be the Rothschilds or Rockefellers, they make up the secret counsel of the wicked. Everything that you've seen is being financed by them to bring in and usher in that global world order. This, as a matter of fact, the other day, and I mentioned this, countries with a health pass, because this is global, and everything that you see, see if this is gonna work. Everything that you see going on with this pandemic and the health passes is basically a blueprint for the standard of the MOTB, right? No social life, no social interaction, no work, no shopping, no bar, no club, no public venue if you don't have the proof, the evidence, the authenticity that you have participated in our worldwide global experiment to destroy you, okay, essentially. So we have the UK, the EU, but there's it does give you a list. This isn't the actual source that I was looking at, but this will suffice. So these are the different countries that have the restrictions and what they expect, what you need to get in the country, and most of them require you to have a health pass of some degree, or you can't get into the country. You can't go to the bar. You can't go to the club. You can't go to a venue. You can't go to this restaurant. You can't go to this wedding. You can't go to that funeral. You can't go to different places of worship. All right? This is the standard that he's trying to set up on the earth, which ties into how he's going to rule via the MOTB, which gives him ultimate control. The two main things that we do in order to, live within society, okay, or have access to resources is buying and selling. It comes right down to your labor. You sell the value of your labor to the highest bidder, right? Yeah. So you look at the different job listings and you look, $20 an hour seems fair for this type of work. You sell yourself, okay, into that labor to receive a wage. That's buying and selling. Everything we do has to do with buying and selling. Okay, so if they deny you the right to work, if they deny you the right to access of basic necessities, then guess what? You're not going to be able to survive, right? Essentially. Now, the Lord's elect, we're not going to worry about that because the Lord's going to take care of us either way. But it's to make the point that when it says that thou, as a matter of fact, might as well just get it. Oops, Slovakia. $13. And 13 and 60 says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. We know what that is. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had it, the mark or the name, or of the beast rather, or the number of his name, right? So that's it. If you can't buy or sell, then you're ultimately not able to acquire the resources that are necessary for survival. All right. That's for those who don't have the faith. Okay. That's going to happen to you. You're going to be totally X'd out. All right. And most of you, once you start to feel the pinch of starvation, you're going to comply and you're still going to be destroyed. All right. Whether Esau destroys you or the Most High ultimately fires missiles on you. So it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Now, when you go into this word insurrection, the word there is ragash, okay? Meaning throng and company, throng, scheming. This is the scheme of the devil that you see going on. to be in tumult or commotion, to conspire, plot. So for anybody saying, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, no. This is a conspiracy, and it's a fact, and it's right there in the scriptures. So this man is conspiring against the Lord's people. They're the main ones that he wants. And that's why I have this up here, latest data on the jab based upon race and ethnicity. It says, let's actually get a date on this. So as of September 22nd, 2021, as of this week, 77% of the adult population in the United States have received at least one dose, right? But it's going to go on to say that, that mainly Edomites are the ones participating in this. Right? You see it right here. Right? It says, Black and Hispanic people remain less likely than their white counterparts to have received that poison, leaving them at risk, all right, for spreads. So that's who they're really after. And we can qualify that through the scriptures, because remember, their biggest threat is us receiving this truth, which is the life force of an Israelite, standing back on our feet, proclaiming our power, because the moment that happens, that's their fall. So we ultimately are their biggest threat to their new world order, to their continuation of rule. All right, because once the Lord's elect are sealed, bam, this man is taken out, man. That's what's going to happen. That's what the scriptures say. Who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Yeah, you can't work, you got to get the jab. You can't do this, you got to get the jab. That's a trap. That they want people to, basically be forced into doing these things, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So we're now at the time where they're shooting at us, okay? And they're in secret, all right? So they've already done all the plotting and scheming, and, they've run the mock drills. How many experiments have they already run on the Israelites in Central and South America? And here in America too, okay? With the Tuskegee experiments. They've been doing the experiments, so they've searched all these things out, and now they're shooting, right? They're going for it all now, all right? As the scriptures say, while he is eating, he shall be in straits, right? That the Lord is going to fire that iron weapon upon him, right? The Lord is going to ultimately interrupt as he's, in his sufficiency. And right now he is in his sufficiency, even though he's doing this out of desperation, out of a desperate attempt to continue his rule. The only way he has a fighting chance is if he's able to destroy the Israelites. But that's not the way it's written. The way it's written is that the Lord was going to set a standard against him, right? We were reading this earlier. It says, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the east. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Now the ultimate standard is Yahweh Shai. And it says, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from the transgression, and Jacob saith Yahweh. But what's another standard that the Lord is going to set against this devil? All right? Spiritual power, divine intervention, right? Being guided by the Spirit. The Lord said that no weapon that is formed against us shall prosper. Okay? And every tongue that come up against thee, thou shalt condemn. But they're still attempting to shoot at us and persuade us through coercion, through force, through the fear of death. All right, those are those arrows that they're shooting, okay, to try to get us to comply. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. And that's what Jake don't understand. This is all a trap. It's all a setup, okay? And unfortunately, for the 2/3, they have it so, right? They don't see anything wrong with what's going on to the point where they're willingly participating. And Jakes are not in the position of waiting on the Lord. That's not their mentality. So when even if they're refusing it now, once they start to feel that pinch, they're going to fall right for the trap. Look, Problem, reaction, solution. That's another example of them shooting at the perfect. They're the ones causing the problem. They've already gauged the reaction, all right, of the people, and now they're providing the solution, which is no more than the laying of a snare privately or privily, okay? Now, that can only happen to you if you're not aware of the prophecies and have the faith. It says, they say, who shall see them, right? They're not considering their latter end, because every move that Esau makes to establish his new world order is another step closer to his own demise, okay? So, I mean, that's pretty much it on that. I'm going to jump here real quick because I want to point something out. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? This word rage is actually the same word for insurrection, the word ragash. All right, ragash, right there it is. And you're going to see the word here to be in tumult or commotion, to conspire or plot. So the chief among the heathen are the Edomites. They're the ones leading this new world order. Okay, and you have your different various nations that are, to a certain extent, complying with that image, instituting that MOTB, okay, like Sweden. You even have that technology in Russia. So even though these nations are at variance with America, and which is ultimately going to continue to happen, which will lead into that World War III, there's still elements of which they're complying with that image and mark. All right. So the heathen are raging. Slakia, the heathen are raging, and they imagine a vain thing, that this kingdom is going to continue to go on. All right. That we're all going to become transhumans. That's the next evolution to humanity. All this other madness. That's a vain thing, man. If this devil continues to rule, there shall no flesh be saved, because this man is taking everything out, perverting everything. The quality of life is non-existent. You struggle just to obtain the bare necessities of life. Animals have become endangered under this man's rule. The food is literally poison. All right. The way he tells you to boost your immunity is to accept something that is literally death. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. So what's an example of them coming together against the Lord? By complying with this new world order. Something else, okay, is the Space Force program, which really goes back to the Star Wars program. Now, during 1987, I just have this as a reference point. During 1987, then President Ronald Reagan gave a speech, okay, talking about unity between the nations if there were ever to be this, right? An invasion. So right there, this is how the nations, and they do have these agreements, okay? And it's even written in prophecy that when the Lord comes and cracks the sky, that they're going to turn their attention from each other onto the Lord, okay? They're going to turn their attention, and you could read about that in the book of 2nd Ezra, all right? They're going to turn their attention from each other and try to fire their different military nuclear abilities on towards the chariots, and they're going to fail miserably. But it's just to make the point in the scriptures where the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord. So they're in compliance with this idea of a new world order, subduing the people by putting a device within them. Now, something is going to cause that ultimate division to where, they declare war with America. All right. But nonetheless, for the moment, you could see how they're moving in agreement and against his anointing. Right. So no matter what, all these nations are against the Israelites. So you got a lot of Israelites that they move them out of America. They go to Japan, right? They go to these different countries expecting a different life. Now, they might experience a different quality of life, but as the Apostle Zahar pointed out in one of his most recent videos, we're still under the curses. At any time, your life can be taken away from you. Your resources that you've been storing up could be taken away from you, could be put to death. You're a nation not desired. There's still places within the world you can't go without being, considered a proverb and a byword and something derogatory, something that, because the nations have a great disdain for us, man. Even though they want to be us, they have a great disdain for us and our heritage. All right. So it says, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Yeah, man. We're that nation not desired. So they're basically introducing poison into our systems. Because here's the thing. A sick nation has no defense to stand up for themselves or to fight back. And that's exactly what they're doing. It's already come out that when you take the first dose, a percentage of your immune system significantly decreases. Then we take the second dose, okay, basically 70% or more of your immune system has been totally turned off. And then you get the booster and you're basically subject to all types of viruses and diseases that your body now does not have the ability to stand against. All right. So a sick people can't defend themselves. And that's what they're trying to ultimately do to Jake. Pacify them, put them to death, and make them sick so they're not able to cognitively function, all right, and tap back into their power. That's what they're ultimately trying to do. Esau's already admitted that he got something that he refers to as the God gene, where he's trying to attack that part of the brain to cut us off. But the Most High, he that sitteth, the Most High, this is the Most High's attitude towards all this. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath. As a matter of fact, right here, this is beautiful because the Lord said that, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. Right, because the Most High's going to set that standard out there. He's going to interrupt their enterprise. And he's going to fire nuclear missiles on them, as well as concentrated fire that's going to come from Yahweh Shai when Yahweh gives them the go-ahead. All right? To destroy the wicked and to deliver the righteous of the nation of Israel, wherever they're scattered. So this is it. This is where we're at. All right? It's at the door, Akim. This is what's getting ready to happen. It says, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. Now, we read in 2 Thessalonians this, right? Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High or that is worshipped. All right. And through his tyranny, he's trying to obtain absolute power. OK, that's why he wants to spy on you 24/7. OK, he's made TVs smart, refrigerators smart. Everything's tapped and built into the Internet of Things is to keep records on you, predict your behavior. So he can try to persuade you to live his lifestyle, to live after his way. That's what it's. Remember, Esau is the opposition and the opposing side of all that is good, or that all is of the Most High, as we just read. So he's setting up things to destroy you. Okay, he's the counterpart. Khan. So that's what he's trying to get Jake to do, to follow his way instead of the Most High. So that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Right. And we covered that earlier. You know, he set himself up to be the Most High through setting up images that don't really represent who the Most High is or how the Most High is described in the scriptures. Then he's using the force of his military. OK, he's using, basically to try to influence you or persuade you to go the way he wants you, denying you goods, right? You have to go to him for everything, but you have to go according to his standard to obtain those things. That's why the Lord said to desire none of his ways or none of his dainties, because it comes, all right, with an ulterior motive. It comes with evil. It comes with wickedness. There's something always wicked attached to this man's way, all right? Even if he seems to be trying to do good, he's actually trying to destroy you. You know, I say more? We have our examples, all right? Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. It says, now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in this time. And we're in a time where Esau being revealed on every side. All the wickedness that he's trying to commit, all the wickedness, that he has done has been exposed. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And that's the Most High, and he's taking him out of the way. All right, because he's being exposed first, and then the judgment comes. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Excuse me, I'm gonna turn this shit off. I know the background music was gonna turn into some bullshit laughter. Salakia. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the spirit of his mouth is the prophets, and he's being consumed, all right, through the truth, or by the truth. We're being, steadfast in the faith, and telling them, look, you're going into slavery, all right. You don't win that war. You're going to be ultimately destroyed. Your new world order is only going to go but so far, and that's how he's being consumed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth, via the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And that's what we read here in Psalm 64 of that arrow, and by which why he'll be wounded, all right, or by which he'll be wounded, and how the Lord is going to speak in his wrath and vex him in his sore displeasure, all right. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Shaitan, or Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So this devil's getting ready to do all types of evil to try to persuade Israelites to follow after his way, and make them subject to his MOTB and his image, okay, his mark and his image, which, when you go into that word mark, it does say a stamp of the Antichrist, okay, that's his stamp. But it is a physical mark. And if you take that, the spiritual aspect of that is you making Esau your power. Okay, you don't have a problem with his ways. You follow after his ways, and you put yourself under his authority. That's what the word subjection means, to put yourself under another's authority. In this case, it would be under the authority of the wicked, under the authority of the devil. All right, which a lot of our people are going to succumb to, and they're going to be destroyed. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved. A lot of Jakes have not received the love of the truth that they might be saved. In other words, because of their lack of faith, all right, the Lord had what didn't open up their minds. Okay, it says that faith cometh by hearing. So a lot of our people aren't hearing the words of the Lord because they're none of his. It says that the Lord's sheep hear his voice. So it's clear to distinguish between who are of the Most High and who is not. It says, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. And a lot of our people in this position, they believe in that delusion. They believe in America. A lot of our people are patriots, Second Amendment activists. Okay, they believe in the so-called American illusion because it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. All right, and they're avidly fighting alongside this damn devil. Okay, to try to keep on the ways of America, which was never really intended for them anyways. Okay. Like I said before, choose none of his ways. We're not to choose any of his ways. His way is not the right way, and his way is not our way. We have a standard. We've been given a law, a commandment, a testimony. Okay, we've been given prophecy. That's our way. All right, I'm going to read the rest of Psalms, the second chapter. I'm going to read Revelation 2, and we're going to close. It says, yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree that Yahweh has said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So this has been given unto Yahweh Shai. Ultimately, all power and dominion has been given unto Yahweh Shai. As a matter of fact, Yahweh Shai is the one coming to dethrone the Edomite and all the lesser powers. Okay, that's another reason why when we read up above here that they set themselves against the Most High, because they know that when the Lord does come, remember, under the Star Wars initiative, right? Under the Star Wars initiative, they understand that when the Lord comes back, he's coming back to destroy them and to deliver the Lord's people. They know that, all right? Nevertheless, they're going to be taken out of power. Yahweh Shai is going to dethrone them, hence being the King of Kings, all right? And we, as a byproduct of that, as joint heirs, will also receive the heathen and the uttermost parts of the uttermost parts of the earth for our possession as joint heirs. Thou shalt break them with the rod of iron. But remember, the glory is gone to Yahweh Shai first. Yahweh Shai is going to get the glory first and foremost. Then we're going to share in that glory Yahweh Shai is going to give it to us. Okay, that's what we're waiting on. It says, thou shalt break them with the rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Khan, exactly. We're going to be given that scepter and we're going to rule them accordingly. It says, be wise now, therefore, are you kings. That's what we are. That's why I keep, harping on the point, man. We're not to choose any of this man's ways, man. We are separate from this Edomite. To put yourself equal to the Edomite is to put yourself on the level of a heathen. We're not heathens. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. And that's what we are, being built up as judges of the earth, a royal priesthood to govern the earth in righteousness. All right, we're experiencing the wickedness. We understand, okay, that these ways are contrary to life and to well-being and peace. And now that we've been instructed, we see what we need to do to get salvation and how things need to be ruled in order for there to be peace and substance and quality of life. And it starts with the end of Esau's world and the wickedness thereof. Serve Yahweh with fear and rejoice with trembling. And that's exactly what the elect is going to do. Kiss the Son, right? Doing these lessons, keeping the commandments, all right? Reading the word and then applying the word. That's kissing the Son, right? Lest he be angry and ye perish from the way. Right, man. We don't want to perish in the way. We don't want to be on the Lord's bad side. So we got to keep these things so that we can remain acceptable in his sight and then receive the consolation, that reward for it. When his wrath is kindled but a little, blessed are all they that put their trust in him. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And because we did those things, all right, this is what the Lord said. Revelation 2:25, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come. The word there for hold fast. All right, let's listen to it. Krateo. All right, so to hold fast, I'm going to jump right to the point. To keep carefully and faithfully. To continue to hold, to retain. That's where that integrity comes in. To walk honestly and sincerely. All right, even when you're, in a position of difficulty, you don't let go of your moral value. All right, you hold on to it and you do as you've been commanded. And we've received the commandments. So now we're in a advantage point. Okay, reading on. The reward is coming to his elect, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So we are also going to receive of that blessing when Yahweh Shai comes, if we keep those things. And he shall rule them with the rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star, right? Coming into the light, the morning star is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai holds the truth, okay? And we've been given the truth according to the mercy of the Most High. All right, to receive the understanding of these prophecies is mercy, man. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. So, with that, I believe all the points that needed to be made in the Spirit were made. We are here. All right, things are getting ready to intensify. Things are not going back to normal. Okay, when you go down, it goes into basically how what's going on in Australia is reflecting what's happening in the States. So if you wanted to get more into this article, you can go to the Washington Examiner and read this in its entirety to get more out of it. I just wanted to highlight the point. What you see going on now is going to happen to America, and it's fastly approaching. All right, we're in those draconian times. We're going to see a lot of things intensify, and what we need to do is hold fast to faith and continue what we've been taught, remain sound in the doctrine, will receive our reward. And these Edomites, this is their fall. So they need to make their move out of a last desperate attempt. All right. But at the same token, it's the end of their rulership, Akim. It's the end of their kingdom. So we, as the scripture just read, here, right, serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. So we're rejoicing, okay, at this man's fall. And we're trembling too, because, it's exciting as much as it is, intense and scary, because we're coming into the times that the Lord wrote about in Daniel, the 12th chapter. That's never happened before, man. So this Even Esdras was in the spirit of saying, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? So yeah, man, so things are going to get intense. But yeah, hey, Lord's willing, you are edified. Let's just keep the faith, man. Keep pushing this thing. You know, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rekah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect.